I'm going to introduce you to two people, some of my favorite artists in the world, Madeline Clifford and Hollis Wong Ware. They are Canary Sing!
What's up, y'all?
Sad. I feel like we're in church. Don't you guys feel like you're in church right now? You
I
are
was
in church.
just asked to give money, so that helps. I also feel spiritually transformed, so that also.
So we are Canary Sing. We're so happy. We feel so blessed to be on this stage. Something that you may not know is that what brought us together was You Speaks, and so it really means a lot for us to be performing tonight.
We were both on the team in 2006, and we went to Brave New Voices together. And the first time we ever performed was when we were performing on the Brave New Voices finals stage. So this is what you're seeing before you. Ready for this?
We about to make a mark, heavy and dark, sharpen minds like graphite, exercise our rights, forget statistics. We're here to settle the score, don't put your pencils down, pass them around, pass them around.
See, we uplift, up rock, taking over stages, write strong, sing loud, breaking down our cages. Not treaties or inventions, we exist with the intention to lay tracks under redemption. Now that we got your attention, we sing cause we must, we fly cause we bust. It took us a little while, but in ourselves we trust. Presser in a press, struggle nested in our chest, breaking eggshells. You know canaries doing it best. We just expressing the complexity of our composition. Playing in sedition, using words as our ammunition. If you can't be free, be a mystery. Don't fade into obscurity, shed light. The question is the frequency. We rise high, often peaking on the tracks, making motion, bridging oceans with the smalls of our backs. Yes, your monochrome culture coming under attack, yeah.
Your monochrome culture coming under attack.
See, my wings are the youth that are speaking in poetry. Their words fly into microphones aerodynamically. Charting this trajectory is ridiculous. Calculus, metallic fluidity, never pausing to rust. All my brown and yellow women that speak what we see in the movers and the makers in this town by the sea. Us who create with our hips and our hands. We're not asking politely, yeah, we making demands.
We about to make a mark,
heavy and dark,
sharpen minds like graphite,
exercise our rights,
forget statistics.
We're here to settle the score.
Don't put your pencils down, pass them around, pass them around. Vex and I go way back, like the traumatic attack of earthly light, March 28th at midnight. A midwife welcomed me to this world yelling, it's a girl. I started dying that day, blue and bloodied, started crying like the shit ain't funny, put me back. Fast forward to my first steps, used to move like a maroon through the backyard brush, was always in a rush. Pensive little one with a permanent mean mug. Black sheep with the rap sheet, knocking over anything within reach. My put me to sleep with stories of getting free, called me love child. Hair was always wild like daddy's locks, had a wealth of knowledge I just couldn't get across. A sweet tooth for sorrow, I guess. Homeless artistry, had to stay afloat so my city wouldn't martyr me. Oh, to melancholy, oh, how I love thee. Let me count the ways. The sky thunder claps like it's laughing in my face. Could've sworn this was a stage, yeah, you on display. Gotham City gray, Joker's on his way. Top left, no wait, last stop before escape. Used to pray, take the pain away. Bumping purple haze, getting blazed till sun rays. In spring I ran track, and I lost every race. Guess I never knew pace. Preferred to learn the hard way. Pop's talking about Babylon soon fall any day. He was cut short soon as he looked away. Used to bleed hell's inferno in my marble covered journal. Ran away from home. Lovesick is an understatement. Growing pains but couldn't face it. Headed for destruction, Ma couldn't tell me nothing. Thought shit was rough in the 206 till she bought me that plane ticket southwest to the East Coast and the island of my dreams. Kingston, where the plane touched down. My folks rocked the Spanish town, frown. Auntie had me under lock and key. Dude said, what's a guan when they see me? Like they spoke in melody. Learned to move through mean streets carefully. The male gaze like a stranger getting bolder in the periphery. At first I couldn't sleep. The sound of outdoor speakers blasted nightly. Diasporic pulse, rock city pounding through my psyche. Walking through the market, prices high, people with the hungry look in their eye. Landscape, not unlike paradise. Still the stakes is high. The rest of the world is barely getting by. I learned to slow wine from Nadine stature like an Ashanti queen. She braided my scalp. Call it Cain rose back in the day. Slaves used to set the crops ablaze. At times I feel that way. Got a temper. See, I'm liable to scorch. My flows is that morose. Knock 'em out that comatose. Came back across the map, ready for war. But it was evident. Apathy was prevalent. People asking, why the long face? face, you don't get it. I'm displaced, trying to trace ancestors a name. Call me insane. Add an insult to my injury. Words be the sharpest weaponry, and so they sleep. Hear that symphony of black bodies swinging in the summer breeze. Go ahead and be a casualty. I stay bold as blasphemy. Da Vinci Code your whole dogma, goddammit. Yeah, I'm holding a grudge. Breaking surface tendencies and the tendencies of enemies. Your body of knowledge is large, but see, I call that gluttony. It's a man's world, and dudes say we difficult, not typical. Want to get us open, then they shock, they unlock Pandora's box. Presently, still a wild seed, but I've learned to choose my battles wisely. Thanks, y'all. We're gonna do some songs for y'all.
All right, y'all.
Give it up for our DJ, Leopold.
Give it up for DJ Leopold Bloom right here.
On the ones and the twos.
Give it up for all the youth that have left the stage tonight.
Give it up for the youth. Give it up for yourselves. So we're a little bit different. How many of y'all are different?
Put your hand in the sky.
It's okay to be different,
I know,
right?
we are.
We got a little song about, you know, just how crazy we are.
Is it cool if we rap for you guys?
Is that okay?
Is that okay?
You wanna hear us rap?
Play that track.
You might
Bump
recognize
that a
this
little bit, I
beat.
think. Put your hand in the sky, feel it. Let's go. Check it. Point in the slide and observe what you're not. I'm a full-time professional, freaking how I was taught. I can prop and lock an eagle, drop and shimmy for a laugh. I'm so overextended, they pay me time and a half. Hung as a trap behind glass, bending my body towards infinity. Figure eight my frame and everlasting curiosity. Like theory, I'm flexible, they call me unrespectable. I dump like I'm perverted, but I'm just on that next level. Even when I was young, put me into speech therapy. Couldn't understand my sentences, cause I was spewing prophecy. My fork tongue always goes both ways. I'm on that two-world tip, you only gripping your grave. So watch how to stay distance while I move at the speed of light. Living on the side so you can sleep easy at night. But when you finally figure out the time is curved and not straight, come correct it with respect and I'ma be your saving grace. Cause we could be heroes but we out of bounds. Always profound when we holding it down.
We represent the youth of every being is proof. Your theory's a spoof and our lines ain't nothing but true.
Call us delinquents but we spin with 6 cents. We jinx your average cause our skills are savage.
You could call us freak shows or history's no shows, but
Grown folks grow when we deliver these flows.
Go ahead and call me bizarre. I still brawl with the raw patois. Even on the outskirts, who get it first? If I'm missing my justice search, been strange since birth. Since my skin is a curse. Maybe being female is worse. Who knows? Only those that battle with low blows just goes to show some folks are slow. I'm stuck up in a sideshow tripping. Well, stumbling ain't falling while y'all ballin'. I'm packing a pun for those that shine and flap their guns. There's ample evidence. Presence is irrelevant. Call me your excellence and recompense. At that point, I'll put in my 2 cents, and perhaps we can make amends. You might abandon and transcend these ends. These days of gray may manifest dismay, but hey, that's how we create in the 206. We could be heroes, but we out of bounds. Always profound when we holding it down. We represent the youth of every being is proof. Your theories are spoof and our lines ain't nothing but true.
Call us delinquents, but we spin with 6 cents. We jinx your average cause our skills are savage.
You could call us freak shows or history's no shows, but grown folks grow when we deliver these flows. Hear it, grown folks grow when we deliver these flows. Grown folks grow when we deliver these flows. Grown folks grow when we deliver these flows. Come on, y'all. Let's hear it. Grown folks grow when they deliver these flows. Grown folks grow when we deliver these flows.
One more time, grown folks grow when we deliver these flows.
Grown folks grow.
Can the grown folks make some noise right quick?
Yeah, let's hear the grown folks. Thank you so much for your support. We're gonna invite somebody up to the stage who has had a huge impact on us. Please welcome to the stage Language Arts, also goes by the name of La. For our next song. Next track.
How are we all feeling down here?
What up, what up? Thank you so much. This is so amazing. So amazing.
This is our last song, but I just hope that everybody, yeah. Thank you guys so much for having us.
This is about being an artist, being different.
And these days aren't even really days anymore. Just a string of different hours, different colors in the sky. I don't know why, and I don't
flesh to bone, the soul stopped by on its way to sky. Feeling shoddy, probably cause you're playing catch up with your body, brain in school, but not at home. So much unknown. Journey to your center and just search. Travel, traverse the inner outer universe. Some days it hurts, you try to play it off too soft. Soaking in what others block, the steady yearning never stops. Funny how time takes off flies, as open-ended as a lover's eyes. She got an old soul with regrets. You kicking baby steps, still so perplexed. A heart gets broken, then it's open. Yours was shattered, pieces scattered, so you rather craft a shard. This is odd, up to see the break of day. Study senses, how to pray must be the artist's way, must be the artist's way.
And these days aren't even really days.
Yeah. Hey, make some noise if you're in the house tonight, huh? Make some noise, yeah.
Hours, different colors
Show you how to do this,
sky. I don't know why, and I don't know why.
That shit on.
Let time
Turn this up. I ain't got time to debate about who's making it, who's ill, which one of these MCs is faking it, who's real. Some nights I just get fly and dream of a new deal, getting signed to me not being broke from 2 bills. Past due yesterday, what I do for 2 mil. Zoolander headshots with Magnum and blue steel. No pose in my flows, just the thesis of a boss who grew up trying to floss, buying t-shirts down at Ross. Hip-hop found me at 4, was teaching me the arts. Now my pen plead for a sin. Jesus on the cross, making something from nothing. Your music suffer from frontin'. Sylvia Plath, bastard, stuff your mug in the oven. He did the 400, I'm super bad, you McGlovin. Classic album when y'all said it was, but it wasn't. That's when I catch them stunting on their candid camera. Profile my style, think it's all lambda. Tell my man blam your fam, then hand a man to the cannon. Laughing while the judge read the Miranda. You mad my rap's worth 100 grand a stanza. Spitting candy bars, I ain't feeling that sweet shit. Get lit up quicker than what I'm filling my swisher sweet with. Run up on you dressed all black, that's like a beatnik. Frequent sweet chicks who can think on their feet quick. Charge it to the game, you can keep the receipt.
And these days aren't
Make some noise, you speak.
days anymore. Just a string of different hours, different colors in the sky. I don't know why, I don't know why. Let time fly by, 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 by. Hands up, bye, 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 bye. Sing it.
Thank you so much, y'all. Please check us out on Bandcamp. Y'all are filthy. Hey. You speak. You speak. You speak.
Please welcome your wonderful host, Gio, back up to the stage.
On it.
One more time for Canary Sing. All right. We have come to that point in the night. Round 3. Man. Wow, the tension is back. What happened to the love? Okay, now it's coming back. Now it's coming back. Everybody put a hand in the air and grab that love that's in the air. Feel it, touch it, find it somewhere, grab it, throw it at the judges real quick because they need it. And they're gonna need all of it for this round. Real quick, before we get into round 3, we're gonna have one more call to support right here. We have one magic box left right here that if you still have a look, there you go. So everybody put them envelopes up. Keep supporting that. And let's see. Oh, yes. One more thing before we get into round 3. We have one more sacrificial poet who's gonna come up. Sacrificial in many regards to recalibrate the judges and make sure their eyes and ears are working properly. And also to give our poets one more chance to breathe for 210 seconds. So, are y'all ready to sacrifice some poets? All right. Desmond, where you at? Make some noise.
Love you too. There is a gravestone on a tiny island somewhere out in the big Atlantic, off the coast of Georgia or the South Carolinas. Out in the big Atlantic, without shelter from the waves out there, without words to fix it, without records to bind it. Not without history, mind you, but without words or records. Do you know of Gore? Do you know what it is today? All loudspeakers and bright colors, spring break over the bones of raped women. But on this side of the Atlantic, on this tiny island, doorway before Ellis or Angel, wild ginger hearts wrap around the base of a granite effigy like a wedding band, like the chokehold of a family tree. Remember, this was only temporary. To the wind and water, to the fire, to the heart of the sun. My great-grandmother died in a fire, but lived all of her life by a stove. Of the scattered children of Africa, too many have relinquished their magic. Those black women, those dark black women, those wicked black born of fire, no need for the page women, vocal maelstroms, prayers of sinews women, spells of wrists women, Sybil sister, black dove, oceans away women. Do you remember Sullivan? They don't. They are before. Did you know there's a candle to burn for every situation? That there are wisps and trees with mouths, flowers with wings, lavender and chokecherry within the cup. Dust within the blood, more dust. Ash from the flames of Alexandria. Call it entanglement. Call it spirit, the holding with a womb. Call it history, call it gospel, and preach it from steeple and kitchen, courtyard to cotton field, write it in the rouge of the lips, in the bend of hips, in the push of your deepest longing. I am the son of a conjure woman hung from the bridge of her own blackness by the symmetry of her life-giving, by her animal, smirks of divine revelation. It is so, by her too beautiful to be caged fire, it is so revealing of the fallacy of words that profound darkness creates inextinguishable light. So I'm a candle wisp, a wild ginger heart, flexor talus for those finger-spun family trees, feather quill plucked from the shifting hands of a black dove, a ripple, etched beautiful, born of goddess magic and nothing less, Virginia. Those were not chains you heard in her blood. That was origin. That was beginning, passed on to every children born of a black woman. History. This cannot be taken, stolen, lost. Give it words. Give it records. Call her witch, heathen black witch. Give it a varnish of misnomer. Call her slave, savage and slave. I understand, Virginia. What else can be done but to fear such magic, but to hide it away, hide her beauty under a twisted fable and dance drunk over her holy bones? But on this island, each grain of sand is a midnight candle, burning your souls, peeling back layer upon layer of a lie on your pilgrimage to truth, a sacred cleansing to the tombstone of the Massa and his grand narrative. But her, you won't find her here, no. Remember, this was only temporary. In the end, she disappeared. My lightning-wristed conjure woman, my great-grandmother, and all the women between flew back on wings of flame that catch the winds of the Atlantic like ship sails. in her final act of witchcraft, she strips the bit from her mouth with all the grace of a harpsichord and throws it backward in dispossession, because silence, it too, is only temporary.
That was Desmond, everybody. Give it up. Our second sacrificial poet of the night. Man, it's time to shed some blood. Judges.
There's a couple judges that weren't listening. There's a low score of a 7.9. You can boo them a little harder than that. On up to a 9.2, a 9.5, a 9.5, and a 9.9.
There we go. One more time for Desmond. It's hard, man. It's hard being that sacrificial. I've been there, and man, I feel you. All right, are we ready now? Can we, real quick, let's add a few more to the arsenal. Again, I hear the ums, and I hear the sighs, I hear the breathe, I hear the snaps, I hear the woos. Let's add a, what? Not necessarily the Lil Jon, not the Lil Jon one, no, that's, the Lil Jon one's kind of mocking, not the what? No. But like, what? What? Like exasperated what? All right, good. How about this one? Damn. And let's see, what else can we add? Yeah, I want to hear more different kinds of hooting and hollering. I'm hearing a whole lot of. Actually, there's the breathy. There's a woo, but then there's a. Yes, or you could add an S and H in there. All that. That's some young people stuff, man. I'm more of the generation. But it's cool too. And last but not least, I hope to actually not see too much of this, but if you need to, this is the energy that you give when you feel that the person on stage could really use it. This always works, like magic. All right, so now, finally, are we ready to get to round 3, people? Town Hall. Town Biz. So poets, you know the order. It's basically the reverse of the last one, so I'm not even gonna tell you who's on deck. You're supposed to know. So you know who's coming up, right? So you're gonna say their name for me. On the count of 3, say their name and make some noise for them. 1, 2, 3.
Arms sore from carrying the weight of a sledgehammer, pounding away at concrete foundations would be easier with someone beside me, but I'm used to being alone. Tough, stubborn, determined, and defiant, holding fast to my roots when the going gets hard, and never afraid to cry, but always ashamed when I do. But can't you see the city's drowning in its history? The river tried to soak up the pain, but it's seeping through the sidewalks. Sawdust paths that could collapse at any moment, a city built on felled trees. Because colonization never ended, no, instead it just took root like Himalayan blackberries. Every park, every neighborhood, every school, creeping into your homes, consent is assumed. Partially constructed maps never seem to explain the concept, so I wander the city with a compass and a knife, because if Food Not Bombs taught me anything, it's that healing work is also painful, and defending your own right to live is hard. So I walk about this town singing songs, trying to tune out the odd looks and invasive questions, sopping between swings to dance a little and dream big. I watch my neighbor, an older man, quiet and wiry with curious eyes, pick up the hammer and wonder whose stories he's defending. Raised up high, then smashing down, sending battered pieces of concrete flying down the street. I catch my breath in amazement, then remember to breathe. All this will come with praxis.
Quinn, everybody, keep it going. Keep it going. And the voice of God says,
Judges are still deliberating.
come on.
We have a low score of an 8.0. We also have a 9.4, 9.4, 9.6, and a 9.6.
One more time for Quinn. Poets, do you need to be reminded who's next? Will that help? Or you got it? You good? Well, I think maybe the audience needs to be reminded. So I'm gonna do the same thing. If you don't remember, this next poet's name begins with a D and ends with Evan. And you're gonna say it real loud on the count of 3, and then yeah. And saying swag real loud is also optional. You can say that too. But when I say 3, say the name and make some noise. 1, 2, 3. Come to the stage.
Excuse me, Grandma, when I claim no faith in God. I have only seen his picture in European paintings displayed on the walls of churches, which I only go to these days during Christmas, Easter, and funerals. Now excuse me for not praying to the shattered stained glass saints, but those same paintings were watching over churches all across Rwanda, where people congregated to be safe from the devils wielding machetes, only to be butchered like livestock for the taking, to be cut down like rainforests, to be put to an end like chivalry and hip-hop music. Now excuse me for claiming no faith in God, but what great deed was he doing while his creations, 13-year-old girls, 8-year-old boys, anyone who identified with the Tutsi people were being stripped of their families, stripped of their hope, stripped of their bodies, beliefs, virginities, and lives, and then left alone to die in piles and pits, piles and pits, piles and pits, by a hand wielding a machete, once a tool used for farming, turned into a symbol for murder and uneducated hate. Now excuse me for claiming no faith in God, but what bad round of poker did he play to lose 800,000 lives to this monstrosity of genocide that was mistaken for a civil war? Now in 1994, we turned on our TV to find misinformed journalists. Well, an angel tripped into the ocean of humanity and created a tsunami powerful enough to wipe out everything we knew of human instinct and allow 6 people to be murdered every minute of every hour of every day for the 100 days of the Rwandan genocide on planet Earth. A place I was proud to call home. Let's put it into perspective. Rwanda is in Seattle's back pocket compared to space and the infinite amount of things out there. So excuse me for claiming no faith in God, but he was sleeping during the 100 days of the Rwandan genocide, and nothing can be done to give those 800,000 lives back. But I swear, I would steal the life out of heaven and use it to bless these bones because I want to see them dance, I want to see them laugh, I want to see them sing, I want to see them cry, and I want to see them forgive. So crucify me for the sins of the murderers and rapists of the Rwandan genocide. Because if I was God, then they would be holding a welcome home potluck for the victims. They would look the victims in the eyes and try to describe the reasoning behind the blood-stained nights and cries. So excuse me for claiming no faith in God, but I hear God has the power to give life, raise it, and nurture it. So Grandma God sounds a lot like a woman to me. Grandma God sounds like my mother. Grandma God sounds a lot like you. So excuse me for having no faith in the Father of Jesus Christ, but Grandma, I have faith in you.
Give it up for Devin. How's them chocolates, judges? Any left? Any chocolate left for me? What? Let's hear it.
We're going to have a lot of what's going on. We have a low score of a 9.7. On up to a 9.9. A 10, a 10, and a 10.
That's what's up. May more spirits rise from the ashes of these numbers. I got one in particular. Whichever judge wrote this, you get, look at that, a 10 with a smiley face, man. I'm gonna keep this one. And I wanna see more of these, all right? Right? You trying to see more of these? All right, so refresher for the memory. This next poet's name begins with a Mo and ends with a Ni, and you're gonna say it when I count to 3. And you're gonna make some noise. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Love, you are the universe and everything was birth of you. And if I could, I would give earth back to you. Not in 2 pieces, but in one whole like the sun. And when you look at the moon, I hope you know that it shines like you. Not even science can help me decipher your beauty because your beauty is what moves oceans like currents. Like when you blink, seas move closer, causing explosions. The earth quakes when you mourn. But to you, I'm completely devoted through any storm. I wonder if you laugh because you're nervous, like it writes maps across my surface and leads me to the place that keeps me focused and calm, or rooted like breathing. Like when I stretch my palms and I'm receiving prayers that are like vibrations that leave me with the tingly sensation that goes from my fingertips to my elbows to my womb, where heaven was held and felt like hell was releasing. And for you, I'd still lay my hands for healing, and they are still trying to kill you softly, but not even silencing can stop the captivating volumes that lies behind your eyes. And you tell no lies, like truth was birth of you. See, I dreamt about you before the thought of you even existed. I went over and over in my mind all the times I would have to apologize for bringing you into this messed up world. Then I had to ask myself, what are you even crying for? Because when your soul chose mine and when my soul chose yours, that bond was undeniable. An overwhelming, beautiful creation of life was bestowed upon me, and I could only say thank you calmly to the universe for always knowing exactly what I need. Provided me with the tools to grow my seed and trusted me wholeheartedly. Now, you're everything I'm fighting for. You're giving me life and so much more. And I prayed for days trying to figure out what decision I was gonna make. Like, do I really have what it takes to raise this baby on my own, or do I really believe that I'm this strong? But I think I knew from the jump that it was gonna be us. I would just have to trust that everything is for purpose and for reason, and that in this season is where you would blossom. You grew in me and stole my heart, captured it from the start, and I can only thank you for teaching me what love is and exactly how it's supposed to feel. This is where it got real, and between me and you, there's nothing in this world that could break us. I need you. Ashe.
Give it up for Moone. All right. Judges, what it is.
We have a low score of a 9.3. We also have a 9.8, a 9.9, a 10, and a 10.
Just like we wanted. Give it up for Moone one more time. Woo. All right, we're almost getting, to the end. I had to lose a layer there. It was getting hot. I encourage everybody else to do so within the boundaries of taste as well. And so, next poet begins with Ray, ends with Vin. You're gonna put it together on the count of 3. Welcome to the stage. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Remember who you are. Every day I hear this in the back of my head. I hear it ringing in my ears, and I struggle to figure out exactly what it means. Remember who you are. I sleep alone in the nighttime. I come undone, and when I lay down, I run away to the back of my mind because that's where all my doubts are. It's where all my worries become fears, and my fears, they become catastrophic events, and those events, they leave me stranded along with all the answers that I thought I had, but those answers turn right back into questions, and those questions never get answered. So I go and I look for God. I look for him in the beginning of the day when the sun rises just in time to shed light on all those souls that became lost in the dark, and in the middle of the night when all of the restless men closed the shades and shed their tears. And one night I found him. I found him in the darkest corner of my closet space, molding all the midnight spirits, his hands moving as if he was shaping clay on the wheel. And he looked at me and he said, "Why have you forgotten yourself?" And I looked at him and I boldly replied that you cannot forget something that you never knew in the first place. I feel like I ran with every crowd and wandered every street corner looking for a simple reflection of myself. But instead, I find dead-end streets and dirt roads intertwined with all of my dead morals. And I find it hard to find my place, so I label myself and curl up into little boxes, box after box after box. I keep boxes in my rib cages. boxes. And I use those boxes as extra space to store all the lies that I like to tell myself. I like to pretend that everything's okay and that I have it all together, but I don't. Keeping my faith has become a full-time job, and I try so hard to not go completely insane. And God looks at me and he smiles, and still looking at him, I ask, what do you suppose I do when my loneliness is the only thing I have to fill the gaps of silent nights? What happens when I can't find my reflection, when I forget everything that I once stood for? What happens when I don't remember myself? And he looks at me and he says, if you can't remember who you are, simply remember that I made you and I made you beautiful. Remember that your brown skin is the perfect shade of brown, and you have the capacity to hold so much love and compassion, and sometimes you give it to people that don't deserve it because that's just how your heart flows. It beats with the intensity of 1,000 stereo systems and jumps in your chest like young girls skipping rope. Just remember to breathe. Remember that you don't always have to hold the weight of the world on your shoulders all the time, worrying about everything, asking questions all the time. Let me do that for you. Let me take care of you. It's what I'm here for. You just take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Feel your bones coming undone. Feel your insides collapsing. Inhale, exhale, let go.
Raven. All right, voice. Let's hear you.
We're gonna throw out the low score of a 10. And a 10, and a 10, and a 10, and a 10.
All right. Wow.
Wow.
I've been to a lot of them. Doesn't happen too often. So you were witnessing something right here. Let's recalibrate real quick. Turn to the person next to you. Lock eyes with them and say, you are filthy. Now turn around to somebody else. Lock eyes with them.
You need some soap.
No, not filthy. Don't call them filthy. Say filthy. All right. So again, lock eyes with somebody else and say, you are hella filthy. Because you are. All right. So next poet begins with a Don, ends with a Tay. You are going to put it together at the count of Trey. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
This is for the 14-year-old boy who just came out and wishes to no longer be alone. For the 15-year-old lesbians who are led on by so-called bisexual girls who are just looking for attention. For the 16-year-old bisexuals who love both sides of the fence just so they will have an even chance of getting love in this cold, cruel world. For the 17-year-old trans student and the 18-year-old genderqueer student who want to be identified as who they see themselves as and not what gender binaries and other people claim them to be. This is for our straight allies who Sexuality was questioned because they stood up for their gay friends. And for everyone in between who were told they were too young to be loved by someone they really liked and got hit on by old perverts in the same day because they were old enough. This is for you. I know dark times cover you more than your skin does. I've been covered too. But I came here to tell you that it won't always be this way. Life isn't about enduring ignorance from schoolmates, counting down the minutes till the bell rings and you run home, keeping your mind clear until your face collides with that pillow and you dream. You dream because you're safe there, because you're never alone there. You're always with that dreamland desperado, that memorable midnight magician, that part-time lover. And in those dreams, there is no too young to love, because age only tells you when you're able to die for your country, when you can drink, and then when you can retire. There is no, I'm not like that. You get what you want. And everyone is gay, and yes, damn it, it does mean There's no fag, no dyke, no ill, no gross, just love. That PG-13 love story that you always wanted. Something as simple as boy meets girl, but when it's girl meets girl, it's too complicated. When it's boy meets boy, it's too complicated. And when it's Z meets her, it's too complicated. And you lay in that bed and pray to God and ask why things couldn't just be easy. Crying to the moon because her cold glow is the only thing that holds you through the night. But you turn the heat on because her cold glow may keep you company, but it doesn't keep you warm. We rely on it still. So you can let the tears flow and find comfort in that heavenly glow. But remember to wipe the tears from your eyes when the chills hit that spine, because we will stand up and be happy. We will stand up and be loved, and we will stand up and love, because dark times will no longer clothe us when we slow dance with patience in the moonlight.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
Keep it going for Dante. All right, judges. Exactly. Pass those numbers.
The judges are starting to get it now. We have a 9.8, a 9.9, a 10, a 10, and a 10.
Dante! All right, so we got Noah up next, but you're gonna say it even louder than I said it at the count of 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. No! Come on.
You are dirty, but that is what I like about you. Ripe and easy to sleep next to when you slip into bed with me. Silent as the spine of a book, bending, the pages of your breath unfold against my neck. It sounds a whole lot like quiet. Shh. Someone might hear you. These walls are like dive bars. Gossip leaks through the cracks. You can hear everything. My Bible boy. Press your fingers into my hips like wet clay while your thoughts stay in New York with her. You memorize the shape of my body so you could find me in the dark, spread me open like a prayer book, and read the Gospels of past lovers etched in my thighs. Matthew, Mark, Luke. Her hips are coast of Italy clean, untouched by man, and I wonder if she cringes at the thought of me. Cries when you lie on her answering machine. I wonder if she still waits up for you, counting the minutes like rosary beads. Our love is drinking whiskey at 11 in the morning. It's jumping into Lake Washington in January, naked. It's my best friend stealing vibrators because we're just too broke to get off these days. It's unconventional at best, never brought up in conversation, it's hush. You're my best kept secret, it is quiet. We, our basement affection, under construction kisses, never quite finished. I love yous, have you other womans me sufficiently? I am the awkward silence in your bedroom, the smell of perfume on your sweater. We are the surrendered bodies of women you will never have the capacity to love fully, our lips. Body bags you just had to zip shut. We are quiet. You are the worst of men, but the best of Catholics. She is a place of worship, holy in you. Never one for questioning religion. Make it back to her every Sunday for your morning prayers of forgiveness. But darling, Hail Mary, Mother of God can't save you from this one. You are dirty, like an excuse that never airs out, dirty. And here I am, your stained sheet bed notch lover, your West Coast body comfort, and I know she is home to you. And I am just the place you make do with until you can get back to her. But I am too good to love a man whose name I will never be able to say in public, too precious to be silenced. I am too human to be my mother's worst nightmare, the reason she turned detective combing cell phone bills and car miles while my father found comfort in another's bedroom. In the thrill of forbidden flesh, you see, it was never Eve who ate the apple. Now, boy, have you clay molded me into Jezebel? Will you stand unscathed as the dogs spit my flesh across the dirt like confetti? Who gave you permission to dispose of my body so carelessly? Are we that different, her and I? 'Cause when your Saturday night sins melt into your Sunday morning hymns, they sound an awful lot like...
Noah, everybody. All right. I'm ready to hear this one.
We're fanning ourselves over here at the judges' table. We have a 9.9. A 9.9. A 10, a 10, and a 10.
One time for Noah. All right, we're entering into the home stretch. I'm overwhelmed, that's all. That's all. And I'm gonna offer a light rail ticket to the pile, to the graveyard. And we have T.R.Y. coming up. So on the count of 3, you're gonna holler out the name, make some noise. 1, 2, 3. Come on.
Friday night parties and old English bottles bathe the boys in power. Butchers. We wear patriarchy as conquest and privilege like an apron so as to never stain ourselves with the blood of women. It is the destruction in our words we have been taught since birth, from our voice boxes, spilling the chorus of sexist hip-hop tracks into our anthems, laughing to the rhythm of reference and how much head we receive when we freestyle. To me and my friends, who whose only way to speak about girls is through the size of their breasts, verbally undressing the fullness of their frames. It is in the way we crave them. Disposable. When we talk to women, we become slaughterhouses. They are made to be mutilated by our kitchen knife hands, hips hacked to pieces. We constrain girls' legs like young cattle, keep them limber. They do not need to walk to taste good. We just want them on their knees. We hang women's spirits on hooks and freezers where they swing from side to side so that they can never move forward. We replace respect with pet names, bitch, ho, baby. Gutting their figures with guillotine vocal cords, it is our language that gnaws on bones, breaking us off every time we batter their bodies with shattering slang. Our words leave them broken, hollow, crawling for any scrap of dignity. We've been sawed off with jagged teeth, no wonder girls learn to swallow so young. It's hard to teach boys to become good men when we applaud half-naked bodies with orgasms, salivating for the split of open legs. There are times that I forget where I come from, that every woman I degrade is someone's daughter. Women are not meat, processed, or ready for purchase. This world is not an industry to be owned. I'm sorry for every serrated sentence I have ever carved into your skin, crumbling your spirits with my own insecurities, never owning up to any of my mistakes or holding other men responsible for theirs. I'll wipe the blood from these blades and hang up these words for good.
Troy. Judges, what's up?
We have a low score of a 9.6. We have a 9.8, a 9.9, a 10, and a 10.
Yes. All right. What? Here we go. Closing it out. The guy who started it off in round 2. Henry. But you're going to say it louder. Let's go.
Autumn is not made of maple leaves, cut from orange construction paper with safety scissors. No. Autumn is sharp, it's a violent breath. Autumn is secondhand school bus fumes and counting my fingers just to make sure. Autumn is feeling so fragile, I do not know how I have ever been fearless. Autumn is giving up like a broken headlight, dragging on the asphalt of 15th Avenue at 2 a.m. I changed the locks on my iceberg, but this fall season is freezing and thawing and freezing me back and forth till I am cold steam and feathers with no flock. I am 40,000 wings flying somewhere else. All I know for sure is the leaving and the never coming back. I want something so fiercely. I would pull it from the center of the sun, and I have no idea what it is. This is the type of ache that forces everything in the universe to rush away from itself, that bottomless pull that lets the empty space expand in between us. I have learned there is no way to conquer space but to swallow it, and we wouldn't want to be so empty. We are map makers who must make peace with distance or begin to find each other again. This is a precautionary tale for fair weather friends high on summertime. If September was the come down, November is withdrawal. It's staring at off-white walls. It's trying this hard to remember my own name. This kind of pain can only be achieved by forgetting. And this kind of story can only be told by claiming what is buried. So H-Dub-L, beautiful boy, little big bear homie Henry, here are some things you need to remember. 1, if I am reading this poem, I must have made a home here. 2, this city will always take me back, no matter how far I fly. 3, fly. 4, celebration is revolution and survival is resistance. We will spend ourselves too quickly if we forget this. 6, everybody deserves to hold and be held, even Sheriff Arpaio and Ariel Sharon, even me. 7, I must honor the generations of blood spilled and breath held so I could stand here, vocal cords intact with the sun in my lungs. 8, falling, my wounds will not close by the end of this poem, but scars are a sacred language, and every one of these words is a promise to my body. 9, falling is completely necessary. Just think like a seed. 10, love is not something I fall into. Love is a release, something I let in so I might become. 11, I'm becoming myself more and more every day.
All right. I see all the papers have been turned in. Let's hear what you got to say one last time.
Prepare your reactions. We have a low score of a 10. And you get the rest. And a 10, and a 10, and a 10, and a 10.
Keep the love going for Henry. And keep the love going for all of our poets for the evening. Hollis, help me out. Poets, come on to the stage.
Invite all the poets up on stage tonight.
Come on.
Give it up for these poets one more time.
Now, as we hold our breath for the moment of truth, I'm gonna be that guy right now because we are approaching the end of the night where we're gonna have to all go. What will really help out is if, and I know I made a bad example making a mess, but if everybody could clean up after themselves, maybe pick up the piece of paper or a bottle or whatever, anything that's around them that could really help as we await the moment. Hollis, you wanna holler at the people? Yeah, yes.
Okay,
Come on,
guys ready? Okay, let's give it up one more time for all the poets in the front tonight. All right. I am overjoyed, heartbroken, overjoyed to announce to you who is going to be the 2011 Seattle Youth Speaks team that represents in July at Brave New Voices. Y'all can start clapping now. We have Noah. We have Moone. We have Devin. We have Henry Luke. And we have the winner of the 2011 Poetry Slam. Give it up for Raven. Give it up for all the poets that performed tonight.
We gotta go. Town Hall, Seattle's been good. Youth Speaks 2011. On to Brave New Voices. I just got a text from my homie in Hawaii. They said the Youth Speaks Hawaii chapter is doing their Grand Slam. It just kicked off about 20 minutes ago. And so please say what's up to the homies, but also show them how it's done here in the 206. Everybody, thank you for coming out. Please keep supporting.